Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 3 insane elite units in AFK Journey. Now, these elite units, I feel like they have potential to definitely be good in game and mid game and also early game. But before I show you guys these 3 elite units, make sure that you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are new here on the channel, I have a Discord server. So if you guys are interested, you can join the server by going to my channel description. You see the server link there, and I'll also post a server link in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into the video. Alright, so I was able to level up my units to like level 50. I've been progressing through the game so far. As you guys can see on the top left corner of my screen, I have around like 60,000 power. I've been going crazy. Like, I've been grinding, and the beta is going to be over soon, which is absolutely sad. But the game is going to release in like a couple more weeks. Like, I'll give it like, a month that the game is going to release. So that's pretty fine. But let's go ahead and talk about these 3 epic units. So the number one epic, not epic, but the number one elite unit I feel like that has a lot of potential is this character right here. Now, he's epic because I was able to basically limit break him and ascend his rarity. Like, when you get like these certain, like when you get a certain amount of these soul stones, I'm going to call it soul stones. If you get a certain amount, you can basically limit break and ascend your character. So he was basically an elite unit, and this guy is cracked. Like, this tank unit is absolutely insane, and the reason why he's so good is because he's able to provide AoE shield to your allies. Now, he's not able to provide a huge shield to like the entire team, but he's able to put it in like a specific area. So if there are like 3 allies in one spot, he is going to provide shield to all those allies in that one spot. So his ultimate is what makes him extremely cracked, because look at it, it says if you look at it, it says Lucius selects a tile and grants allies on it and adjacent tiles a shield that blocks 470% damage for 10 seconds. So of course, the more you level him up, you're going to basically increase the shield value. And then when we look at the, I'm pretty sure this is his, I'm just gonna say this is his like first skill or second skill. It says Lucius deals 70% damage to an enemy, knocks them back for 1 tile. I feel like knockback is a really good skill to a character because it basically reduces the amount of times the enemy is going to attack you, and it gives you enough time to heal up the unit that has low HP. So let's say he has around like 2 HP, he's about to die. If he's able to cast his divine bash skill, he's going to knock the enemy back a tile away, and then if you have a healing unit, they could automatically heal him up. So knockback just buys time, and on top of that, he's able to gain a shield that blocks 300% damage for 8 seconds. So not only will he knock the enemy back, he will also gain a shield, which is really nice. And then we look at his next skill, which is Divine Light Blessing. It says when gaining a shield, Lucius uses healing power to restore HP that equals 80% plus 20% of shield value for the weakest 1 ally. So he's able to give a shield to the weakest ally. So let's say your ally is about to die. He's basically going to give that ally a shield, and also he's basically able to restore their HP. And then when you enhance, it says enhance 1 level, so it says the number of allies healed by Divine Light Blessing is increased by 1. So the fact that it says weakest and then number 1 allies, you're able to increase it to probably weakest 2 allies. So overall, this guy looks absolutely cracked. And then when we look at his EX, I feel like his EX, you unlock exclusive equipment. You unlock this after you get exclusive equipment. I'm pretty sure you unlock this after you level him up a certain hero ascension. Like, once you reach, because I think, yeah, the highest ascension is Supreme Plus. So maybe you get this in Supreme Plus, I don't know. But it says shoots divine light to a 3 tile wide and 4 tile length frontal area, dealing 90% damage to all enemies within, reducing 8% attack for 4 seconds. So the dealing damage, I don't think the dealing damage is that much of a big deal because he's not a damage dealing unit, but the reducing attack is really nice. So overall, man, this guy, I've been using him and he's been clutch. Like, it's kind of insane to me how he's an elite unit, but I feel like he's definitely like one of those 4-star units that's a secret 5-star. Like, he's absolutely cracked. His shield is so clutch. He's just a good unit overall. So that's pretty much Lucius. Now the next unit I want to talk about is this guy right here. Okay, now I don't know how to say his name. Is it Niru? I'm just gonna say Niru. So this guy, I have him at Elite Plus. I wasn't able to bring him up to Epic, but I've been using this character with Cecilia. With yo, these names are complicated. I'm just gonna say Cecilia. I've been using this guy with Cecilia, and they're both absolutely insane together, because as you guys can see, he's a support unit. But he's able to deal some good damage. So when we look at his kit is pretty simple. Like, his ultimate, he's able to prevent your ally from dying immediately. So let's say the enemy is about to land a fatal blow at your ally. He's like, when he uses his ultimate, he's going to prevent that ally from basically dying from that fatal blow, which is really good. He's able to heal your allies, and then on top of that, he's able to do some good damage. And I feel like this guy, he definitely has potential because of the healing and the fact that you're able to basically, like, he's able to prevent your ally from dying immediately. And then another part that makes his ultimate so good is the fact that it says this skill prioritizes the weakest ally. So there's not a 50% chance or a 30% chance that he's going to target the ally that's going to immediately die. No, he's always going to prioritize the weakest ally. So as soon as the ally is about to die, if he has his ultimate skill, he's going to immediately use it so that that ally won't die from a fatal blow. So overall, his ultimate is really good. When we look at his soul reaping skill, he's able to attack the weakest enemy. So if the enemy is around like 20% HP, he's going to deal some pretty good damage against that enemy. And then we look at soul drain. Soul drain basically drains the life force of all enemies, dealing 150% damage to each enemy plus 3% of the target's max HP up to 70%. He then restores an equal amount of HP to the weakest ally. So soul drain, he's basically able to exchange the enemy's HP, and like the amount of damage he deals against the enemy, he's going to apply that HP to the weakest ally on your team. So this guy is just really good. Like, he's really nice. And then when we look at his exclusive equipment, it says Nairo casts ultimate on the nearest ally without consuming energy when the battle starts. So this is really good, because if you don't have your ultimate, even though you don't have your ultimate, this exclusive equipment allows him to immediately cast the ultimate even though he doesn't have his ultimate available. So let's say your ally is about to die from a fatal blow, but you don't have your ultimate ready. If you have his exclusive equipment activated, he's going to immediately cast that ultimate so that the enemy won't die. So this is just insane. I feel like this guy is definitely good, and when you pair him up with Cecilia, I feel like they're both really well, like they work really well together. They synergize perfectly, because she basically summons like a goblin on the field, and that goblin just does a bunch of damage. And since she's like a ranged unit, I feel like she can be really squishy. So she definitely works well with Nairu, because Nairu is basically going to deal some pretty solid damage, and he's going to prevent Cecilia from taking a fatal blow. So overall, those two units pair perfectly together. Now, another unit I also want to talk about is this guy right here, Odie. Now Odie, I feel like Odie definitely has potential, because we look at his exclusive equipment. I feel like the only reason why he has potential is because of the exclusive equipment. The exclusive equipment makes him absolutely cracked, because it says Odie immediately defeats poison enemies when their HP falls below a certain limit. So as soon as the enemy's HP is below a certain threshold, like below a certain limit, he's going to immediately destroy that enemy, like immediately one shot them and they die right off the bat, which is absolutely insane. So I just feel like that's good. And it says which is equal to 5.2 times of the base damage dealt by dark poison per second. Each time a poison enemy hero is defeated, the limit is increased by 0.5 times of the base damage dealt by dark poison per second, up to 2 times. So his exclusive equipment just makes him crack. The fact that he's able to basically one-shot enemies who have low HP. he basically gives you like a guaranteed, like he just gives you a guaranteed defeat. Like he immediately destroys enemies whenever their HP is low. Because the one thing that I find annoying is when like you're fighting enemies and they always, like when their HP is around like 20% or 10%, the healer on the enemy team is going to automatically heal them up and you just can't kill them, which is annoying. So this guy, he works really well against enemies who are extremely tanky, and when their HP is always getting regenerated by an ally, he's going to immediately one-shot them so that he can counter that. So he's definitely a good counter to units who are tanky and to units who are always regenerating HP over time. So really good unit overall. But I feel like out of all these three units, I feel like the top one for sure is definitely Lucius. Lucius is an insane tank unit. If you don't have, you know, if you don't have this tank unit right here, if you don't have Granny right here, Granny, she is a solid tank, really good. She's able to immobilize enemies, which is really solid. But I feel like Lucius, man, Lucius is just crack, bro. That AoE shield, if you use him in PvP, I'm gonna show you guys some gameplay, but if you use him in PvP, he's just insane. Like his gameplay in PvP is just cracked. So I'm gonna go ahead, switch on over to some PvP and show you guys how this guy works. All right guys, so the team that I'm using for PvP, it's a pretty unique team. So let's go ahead and try to fight someone. Oh, this guy has 20,000 power. I mean, maybe we can beat him. I'm gonna try. But this is basically the team that I'm using. Now this character, I'm gonna take her out. I was just testing her out. Where's he at? Okay, there he is. I'm gonna put him right here. So the team that I'm using is pretty much this character right here, Wayne. I'm just gonna say Hugh. Okay, I'm gonna say Hugh. I'm gonna call this girl Hugh. So I'm using Hugh, and she's pretty much a healer, pretty solid healer. And of course I'm going to use Cixia. Cixia is going to be our main DPS unit, and Nairu is basically going to be my support, where he's going to focus on healing, and on top of that he's going to deal some pretty solid damage and prevent my allies from taking fatal damage, fatal blows from the enemy. And of course Lucius is going to be the tank. He's going to provide shield to the team, and Granny right here is going to basically focus on immobilizing the enemies. And that's pretty much the team overall. Now the enemy team, the enemy team looks kind of good because they have Brutus. Brutus is absolutely cracked because of that immortality, which is really cracked. And then he also has Granny too. Yeah, this guy's team looks cracked. But let's go ahead and see what we can do, because his Cixia is level 60 and mine is only level 57. So I might lose this one, but let's go and see what will happen in this fight. So let's go in battle. All right, so look at that taunt right there. That taunt is insane. So look at that, look at the immobile. The immobilize is insane. So we're doing pretty well so far, but I feel like the Granny is just gonna die immediately if my Lucius is not able to proc his shield. If he can't proc the shield on time, she's gonna die. Okay, he proc the shield, nice. But the question is that enough? Okay, we got the healing. Nice. Okay, Nero with some nice healing. I think Granny's gonna die here. I think she's actually gonna die here. Okay. Everything seems pretty solid right now. I think we win this. I actually think we win this. Come on. Yeah, we won this. We actually won this. All right, so yeah, this team is actually pretty cracked. Like the fact that, you know, Lucius is healing up the team and Cixia is in the back row, and you also have Hugh who's basically healing up the team. I feel like this is a pretty solid team that you can use in PvP overall. And that's why I say Lucius, Nairu, and the poison guy, they're really good overall. But I feel like the poison dude, he's really good once you get that exclusive equipment. But other than that, man, this team is absolutely cracked in PvP. I mean, look at this. Cixia dealing around 180,000 damage. Hugh is able to heal around like 116k. Nairu, he's able to deal 64,000 damage, and he's also able to do some pretty solid healing. And Granny was able to tank 252,000 damage. So this team, if you guys are wondering which team you want to use in PvP, this team is nice. Now, like I said, this is the closed beta test, so chances are they might change these characters' kits. Who knows? But if they don't change their kits, then I'm not gonna lie, as soon as the game like launches, I'm going to use this team for sure. I feel like this team synergizes perfectly. You know, the healing unit, Hugh, she heals pretty solid. Cixia, she's able to deal some pretty good damage overall. And Nairu, he's able to prevent, you know, your allies from taking fatal damage. It's just so good overall. So that's pretty much the team I wanted to show you guys. All right, so I have around like 11 summon tickets. Now I don't have enough. I don't even have a 10 pull to get a guaranteed epic character, so I'm not gonna do that yet. Hopefully I can do that before the closed beta test ends. But this is pretty much my wish list so far. And what I really want is a Brutus, because I really want to check out Brutus. And I also want to check out this character right here. This guy is cracked. Like the fact that he's able to buff, he has like an AoE attack buff, which is insane. So I really want to try him out as well. But let's go ahead and see if we can actually get an epic hero in this multi. What can we get here? Please be a Brutus if we actually get an epic. Oh my gosh. Okay, we didn't get anything here. We're gonna go ahead and skip that. All right, so we actually got this guy right here, which is really cool. So not a bad pull, but yeah, that's pretty much it. After this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue grinding this game because I'm really enjoying this game so far. I'm currently on stage 52, which is really nice. So make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.